For the listener's discretion, this podcast contains strong language and adult themes that may not be suitable for children. These are not the views of the radio station or its affiliates.
Can we stop the arguing? Can we take a moment where we can calm down? It's just so exhausting. Swinging in the wind, going round and round. I know that we won't say sorry. You beg and I plead, but my heart can't beat until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. I know that we won't say sorry until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations, baby. I see me addressing you. Let me put the smile right onto your face, tracing every inch of you. Using my tongue to find your happy place. I know that we can't play naughty. You beg and I plead, and you pull my heartstrings until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. Until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. I know that we won't say sorry until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your girl Moni. Live. It's Wednesday. It's time for the show. Let me clear some things out. It's just me on the screen here. So give me a second. Give me a second. Bear with your girl and her human side right now. We love listening to our boy Anthony Frazier. Now, let me turn my sound off on my phone. If you were tuning in, or at least on our Facebook page, you saw I repost something from Anthony that for one, he doesn't just sing, and he sings wonderfully, but he doesn't just sing, guys. He's educated, quite educated. I'm saying this man has gone and gotten his, I think he got his bachelor's, maybe his master's. Don't quote me because I'm not looking at it. And this came off the dome that I needed to make sure that I said on air for everyone to hear. Congratulations that you guys need to definitely go check out his music on all platforms. He's streaming more than just vibrations. Videos, everything, full production. Take a look back all the way from the beginning with Anthony and then look at today. And that's what you see about being in your passion, that this brother has gone from what looks like homemade to looks like back in the day when videos still came on MTV. You all remember that? The young folks don't know anything about that because they just see movies on there. But us older people, we remember when VH1, BET, MTV actually had music and music videos on there. That's all we got there. So high quality. Go take a look and check the brother out. Go on his page, congratulate him because he isn't just out here singing. He's also doing things. He went to Full Sail. That's where he went to Full Sail, which is not an easy feat. So make sure you go and check that brother out and show him some support, guys. WUBI Ubiquity Radio listeners and viewers. I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you guys. And look, I'm not going to even try and list all the platforms where we are. I won't. I'll list some of the major ones, which is Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. What else is it? YouTube, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, all of you plus some. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me also announce, gosh, there is so much going on. Let me just take a pause and say that. There's so much great stuff going on. You know, your girl, she gets silent, disappears. You may not see that many lives from me on my pages. You know, I'm up to something. People got me stretched out, and I'm in meetings, and I'm trying to give you more here, more, and more. Um, I'm enough, but I want you to have more. I want our guests to have more. I want you as viewers to have more resources that you come on. I want it to be able to reach more people. That's the whole thing right here. Letting it get out to as many people as possible, whether you're sharing it, which I said sharing it, right? Make sure you go right now to all of our social media pages and share, follow, friend, whatever it may be that you do on them. Go ahead. They're all going down the mic. Go ahead and do that to help a sister out, help the cause out. Power to the people. Just imagine my Angela Davis fro on here. I'm gonna wear it on here one of these times for you. But go ahead and do that right now, and then share. This is going to be a dynamic show today. Not that they're all not, because they are. However, we're in the present, and we have another one of Empowered Magazine's Empowered Honorees. Now, her name is Grace Anna. Wait, hold on. Anabu. Did I say that correctly or almost correct? Anabu. She said, like that. Y'all know I like some honesty, right? Don't hype a sister up on falsehood and have me out here looking crazy. Be like, girl, yeah, I was right. And somebody run into one of her friends or family, be like, what are you talking about? That ain't her name. Who are you? And they check me. Okay, you know I will get a name wrong. I apologize. I wrote the Ebonics phonic way down for myself. Anabu. Anabu. So when she comes on, she said I can just call her Grace. So that's cool. We'll do that. However, I want to make sure that you stay tuned for tonight. So much goodness coming in from this sister. She is, most of our guests are serial entrepreneurs. They are so deep and rich within their passions that helping people, you're like, I'm helping people. You know you are, but it's not work. It's just love. It's just a passion of it. And it's work. Let me not be disrespectful. It's work because I love doing this, but it's work. And I roll my eyes sometimes, guys, a lot sometimes. But I still come back every week, don't I? I come back and I'm still with you. So back to the fact of there is so much greatness going on with the station, with WUBI, Ubiquity Radio, and then also going down on the mic, and then all of our other personalities. We have a couple new, not a couple, we have several new personalities on the radio station. So you want to make sure, and if you aren't logging in through your browser, go ahead and get the app. The app is free. It's free right now. Okay. Get it while it's free and enjoy it. And we're going to see some upgrades coming there. Some upgrades, even with that server on the radio side, you're going to see some upgrades that we're putting in place for you. I'm talking like by December, you won't even recognize what's going on here. You won't even recognize what's going on. And I'm so elated. A lot of you have hung in there with us through all the changes and the growth and just everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're still open to all the suggestions. We're still open to all the suggestions. So, Ruku, that's how I pronounce it. You know, I'm a little country. Okay, so that's why the twang of me pronouncing some things also gets a little off. I understand it. Okay, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So don't play me silly on that one. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We will be going on there. That will be on our platform, offering pay-per-view and all of these great things that, again, that push our guests further out there so that they can be accessed, so people can access those resources and knowledge. Kudos. Let's give a clap and a snap and all that good stuff for those things. Now, I want to tell you about where I was. You know that Sister Love was on here. She's also an empowered honoree. That's my girl. Get out there and put in work with that sister. So going down the mic, went out to her mental health walk. The mental health walk was November 4th, and it was phenomenal. Do you hear me? Phenomenal. So when you go to events, live events, because I have to say the difference because there are so many events now that are virtual that I want to make that difference. When you go to live events, a lot of times you're expecting, I think in your mind, you're expecting just these crowds and crowds and crowds of people, which is great. We want people to buy our tickets. We want people to hear it and everything. However, I think that it was right less than maybe 200 or something people. That's including the vendors that were there, the amazing vendors and whatnot, volunteers, police department, and all those types of good things. The healing, the outpouring, the fact that people were able, because see, it wasn't just, oh, we have vendors and we have pictures and we have posters. There were people on hand. There were people there live to grab your hand, to hug you, hold your back, okay? To have your back for real. When you're telling your story, or if something triggers you, or if you have a question, or there was even one person that it wasn't for them, it was for a coworker. And the timing just happened to be perfect because all the friends were getting ready to say, bye, we can't deal with this no more. And they had resources for that person right there, real resources, real ones that, hey, here's my number. Here is this is what we're going to do. Let's get you slotted in here. I understand this. People like when they're listening, when people listen, then they repeat back what you're saying for that, to let you know that they understand it. All of those things, it's warm and cozy and just, big hugs, the feeling of big hugs. So that was going on. Now they did the walk. Your girl did not actually walk. It was a 1 mile walk, half mile out, half mile back. So if you caught the live, if not, it's still ongoing down the mic. Go ahead over there and check it out on Facebook. So when they left, everyone, was going. It was a little chilly out there. Now, when they came back, I went live again to meet them. And I said to them, did y'all stop at the Get Some Energy store? Because y'all came back with more energy than y'all left with. And they all cracked up. They said, we sure did, because of the bonding, because of the people that they saw along the way. One of the many great things that Sister Love and her team had people do, they had tables set up so that you can make your own signs if you want to carry them. So if you want to write a poster board, or they had whiteboards, or if you brought your own, fine, but they wanted those signs up to break the stigma so that people will understand what they were doing beyond just having a banner that says, Sister Love and mental awareness walk and things like that. They wanted people to talk about what they felt comfortable talking about it from their own perspective in order to reach others. Dynamic. They said they had people stopping. Not them stopping people stopping on their own to converse, to ask for help, to give them a way, to make room for them. Just all of these things, just right in line. So yeah, they came back with way more energy than they left, which is another sign of how things were just flowing and people were just being touched and everything. So they're already planning for next year. And next year, it will actually be in Chandler. It will be in Chandler, Arizona. Let me say that because we are worldwide. So I need to make sure you know what Chandler I'm talking about. It'll be in Chandler, Arizona. And if you are interested in helping them out, going and being a part of it, any of that, please, by all means, I want to pull up their Instagram page right quick and share that with you so you can see some of the videos and whatnot from that day. And you can know how to get back in touch with Sister Love if you don't remember from when she was on here. Let me bring this on up. There you go. So this is one of the videos from that day that Sister Love put up there. And when I say, look, you got O.D. Harris in there, you have the other Councilwoman Christine Ellis. There are so many people that just came out. There was another politician or politician-elect that was there too. And there he is, the gentleman right there. These people were really out there and getting in touch with everyone. So Sounds like a good time. And you guys can see the different vendors that were there and everything. The donuts were on hand, the water was on hand, snacks, all that stuff. And there's her daughter right there registering people. The Eastern Star ladies were out there. Saw some old friends with them. There is Patrick. Patrick came and rocked the mic, y'all. Do you hear me? He rocked the mic on what he said, and he rocked the mic a little bit, with the rhythm in there too. He is now diehard Sister Love. Okay, Sister Love, he's a member of the group there because he comes from a different point of view that can help relate to other people. Nisha, which is her partner there. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that we were out there for that mental health walk, the second annual, and the third annual is already in the makings, guys. So go ahead over to her page. Let me bring up the front part of it here so you can see that page right there, Sister Love. And it would be under Sister Love _1, the number 1. So you guys go on over there to Instagram and check that out. You have links up there at the top, I believe, and then within the highlights, and definitely on that video, that you can get in touch with Sister Love. You can get in touch with her and her organization. You can find out more about how you can help if you can't make it there, or if you're from out of town or across the world. And I know that they listen to us a lot in Africa. And look, you still want to help? Absolutely. Because she's going worldwide with this, international. Donate. You know what I say. You can't be there, buy a ticket for somebody else. You can't be there, sponsor a vendor. You can't be there, help the sister buy a new flyer or a new backdrop or something like that. You still can help. You still can help make this possible so that sister isn't totally stressed out during that period of time. And if you remember Sister Love being over here, being on the show, put up no thanks. No, why it's starting to offer me this stuff. She is there for speaking engagements and on and on. So she'll probably be down there in the audience a little bit later in the show. So you can give her a holler. But I wanted to make sure that you're aware about that third annual mental health walk coming up next year, 2024. So get on that with Sister Love 1. That's Sister SISTALUV _1 on Instagram. Go ahead and check my girl out and make sure you tell them Moni sent you from going down on the mic. Okay, I think it's time for our guest to come on. Let me switch some things around here right quick. I think it's time to bring Miss Grace on. See, I'm not going to butcher her name again until she comes on. And I will not do that. But I am going to go ahead and get the plan to let you know that it's time to bring our guest on. I love rocking out to some nice music. Right? I like the good stuff too, but right now I'm keeping up. It's great. We didn't hear away too much. Nice. All right, Miss Grace, are you ready to come on and join us? Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, it's nothing. I loved it all. The mental health walk, that's right up my alley. I love it.
It is. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is perfect, telling you how it's all lining up. Anjanette called me right before when I was getting ready. I'm like, I'm getting ready for the show, sis. She was like, okay, I'm just calling to remind you to send this to this about something for next year's thing. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow because I can't even try and remember right now. I said, I'm going to talk about the walk on the show. And she's like, okay. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This is the perfect person to talk about the mental health walk while you being on here. So please introduce yourself briefly and tell the people who you are and what you are doing.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me, Monet. My name is Grace. It's Onuegbu, but she tried, y'all. She tried. I give her E for effort because it ain't easy to get.
that long accent over there.
She did her best. But anyway, my name is Grace. By trade, I'm actually a board certified psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. So I love the mental health walk. That was amazing. I work in private practice. I do treat individuals for mental health illnesses and substance use disorders. Also the CEO of Smilebiz LLC. It is a personal development company where I teach high performing women how to create balance, right? So they can be able to reach their goals. I do so many different things. I'm a professional speaker, a life strategist under the umbrella of my company. I'm also a minister and I'm a published author. We do have a women's ministry that's really based on the prophetic and prayer. So we have a Facebook group. We also have a YouTube channel as well. So our goal is really to help our sisters discover who they are in Christ and be able to walk boldly in who they are and be able to just equip them to fully walk in their purpose and fulfill what God's called them to fulfill in this set time. So I'm so excited about what we're doing in the group. I'm excited what we're doing in the business. But above anything else that I do, y'all, I am a mom. That's the best thing of all, honestly. Above everything I do, I am a mom. My son is 15 years old. He's a whole teenager, y'all. Sometimes y'all gotta pray for me. Some days I'm like,
I just shake my head.
What's going on here? But I'm just Grace. You know, I do a whole lot of stuff, but I love people. I love serving. Wherever God sends me to do, that's what I'm gonna do. So I appreciate you having me here. Thank you.
Again, I appreciate you being here, and let's see how we can help the people to help themselves and help you and help everybody connect here. Let me get that. Let me get this back up on the screen. Put your Facebook up there. Show that. So now on your website, let me go back over there because I was looking there and it had something in there that I was curious about. Let me see here. Let's see. So it says, let me update that, this tab. Now, is this still available? Because I saw the dates there.
Oh, that's a replay. So that's a free download. We did that, I think, like 2 years ago. When Rise Go Live. So if they subscribe, they will get the replay for it. It's basically we had a 5-day challenge. I guess you would say challenge in the social media world, but it was just we went through different things like what is holding you back, like limiting beliefs, recognizing your stress, distractions. A lot of these things can keep people from truly fulfilling their purpose, you know, reaching their goals. So we tackle on these different things just to kind of help people be able to move forward in their life. If there's goals that they're trying to reach, these are the different things that we taught during the Go Live. So it's actually a replay that they can, a free download they can access from the website. And right now the website is, right now you have this, but it's being revamped. So there are going to be some different things. This should still be part of it. But there's going to be a totally different layout. But I just want to put that out there in case someone comes later on like, this don't look like the website that she posted. So I just want to just keep it and let y'all know what's going on. But yeah, that's
So guys, what I heard was we're all making new upgrades and
yeah.
everything. So come back, it's going to look all different just for you.
All different.
Shiny just for you. Excellent. But when I saw that with the downloads, I'm like, oh, I definitely want to show that because I love the resources. I love it when people can go back and even though they weren't able to attend for whatever reason, sometimes, you know, Trump, they're just not ready at that point, which I know that you know that, or they may have been in it and they're like, too much, being triggered too much. I need to come up out of here. Or they're just meeting you today. And they're like, hey, I wish I would have been there, but I can't go back in time. This is an excellent way, guys, for you to get a little snippet right here. Get a little snippet, get you some healing, get you some, and I say healing because I believe when you eat, when you breathe, when you talk, when you whatever, everything gives you a little bit of healing if you think of it or you know, your perspective is correct or your perspective is that. I won't say correct if your perspective is focused towards that. That's just my opinion. I am not a doctor. I just play one on the show. That's it. Not a doctor.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
That's right.
So you guys, what you do is you go to our website and let me put that back up here again. You go to that website. Now it's going to look like this right now. Now, remember, when you come back, it's going to be something different. But however, the link will be the same, correct?
Yeah, the link will be the same.
Okay, which is www.smilebizllc.com. That's MSILEBIZLLC.com. And in backslash. I'm spelling that for our people who are driving and listening, who are not watching it and seeing it on the screen. They're like, woman, I can see it. I know. But we have other mediums that are tuning in. So we want to make sure that they get that too. Although, guys, look, I don't know if you knew, go over to the not going down on the mic, but the WUBI.live browser, and you can see us live on there right now. Okay, on the radio's page right now, you can see us. So if you want to switch to that, if you're safe, you're not driving right now, because don't look at it and drive. Okay, that is recorded. Said that, don't do it. But later, if you want to go back or go on YouTube or wherever it may be, you can actually see all of this with all the links that I'm putting up. If you need to go back for those resources at any time, guys. But on the website, you would go to free downloads, which is right now a tab at the top. When she revamps, it may be at the side. It may be shooting across the screen in zigzags. I don't know yet. However, will it still have the free download access on it? The new one?
Should. I did tell him to continue to keep that. So if it doesn't, we'll go back and add it. Don't worry.
So guys, you can go right there, and there's a contact button. There usually always is, where you can then get in contact with Miss Grace. And look at here. I use them. Just answer. I do use them. But you can go ahead and get in touch with her. There's a phone number. There's email here, an address, post office box. People, post office box. You show up at Miss Grace's office.
Please don't.
Not, or at her home, or whatever. No.
Oh, goodness.
Office box address. So yeah, you can come look, but don't get hyped for that. Thank you. But yes, go over there and take a look at her website and get everything. So now let's go on over here to Instagram. Which I love all of this. So your Instagram is, bring that over here, is Woman Arise Tribe. Okay. Which, now, how did you come about that name?
Well, Woman Arise Tribe, that's a ministry that was God gave to me in 2020. It actually started as a challenge. We had a Woman Arise Tribe 5-day challenge, and had this, that was my like virtual anything, like, you know, with speakers and stuff like that. So we had we did 5-day challenge, and the whole point at the end was for, as I said, the foundation is for women to discover their identity in Christ and, you know, walk authentically who they are boldly and pursue purpose. So each day I had someone come in, we had someone speak about work-life balance, your root, because we first start with your spiritual foundation, because that's where it starts. Before you can even tackle any other area, your spiritual foundation has to be solid. So we talked about your spiritual foundation. So we had someone come and speak about that. Then we did work-life balance. We talked about confidence, owning the room. Okay, so you walk in the room, you don't even got to say a word. Okay, your presence, your presence speaks for itself. So I had that. Then, of course, I did the gold digger. Okay, not gold digger, gold digger. Okay, because I'm all about purpose and pushing people into their purpose and helping people be able to reach their goals. So that's how it started. And so we had the Facebook group. We did the challenge. We had women all over the United States. We even had people international there. I was just amazed, because this is just something God put in my heart to do. I didn't expect it to be like go through all that. Then I started just noticing that, when I do things, when I speak about a fulfilling purpose, I really give biblical principles and practical strategies. I believe both of them are important to do, because the word of God gives us so many strategies, right? God gives us so many strategies to be able to do the things that he's called us to do. But there are practical things you can do as well, right? There's things in the natural we can do. What I always say, a goal without a plan is wishful thinking. All right. So there are practical things you still have to do. Yes, you should pray. Yes, you should fast. Yes, you should be in your word. There are strategies God's going to give you to be able to live your life of abundance. But there are practical things that you have to do as well. It says faith without works is dead. So I teach from a biblical perspective, but also I use practical strategies to help launch people into their purpose. So Woman Rise Tribe is really based on John 10:10, where
Yes.
it says the thief came to steal, only comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I came to give your life and life more abundantly. What I've noticed in the faith community, so many people are just they want to get to heaven by the seat of their pants, and they don't understand that God wants us to establish a kingdom on earth, a kingdom of God on earth. There are things that we're supposed to be fulfilling on earth, right? Because what that does is it gives glory back to Him and brings souls into the kingdom. But if you're just sitting on your hands doing absolutely nothing, you know, how are you supposed to be representing the kingdom? How are you supposed to be representing the kingdom if you're not doing what God's called you to do purpose-wise?
Right.
So we stand on John 10:10 because we believe that God came to give us a life and a life more full, not just a spiritual fullness, but we should be having fullness in all areas of our lives. We should be fullness in our finances, fullness in our relationships. Not that life is not going to be challenging for you, but there should be some fruit in your life. You know what I mean? So if you say you love God, you're serving God, then He came to give you a life full, and you have to accept that and then start walking in it. So that's why we stand on that. We don't just believe it's just our spiritual life that needs to be full. Every single area of our life should have fruit in it. It should be bearing fruit. So that's the principle that we stand on. So I teach a lot of those different things when it comes to stress management, when it comes to purpose, vision, healing. I do that as well. Our spiritual growth, as I said, that's where it starts. So that's how Woman Rise came about. We have about 144 women in the Facebook group. We're starting to do a lot more with our YouTube because I wasn't doing a whole lot in YouTube, but now I'm able to post videos on there as well. And I do have my friend, I'm gonna shout her out, Tiffany. Prophetess Tiffany, she's one of the ministers in the group, so she does help us with intercessory prayer. We do weekly intercessory prayer. We believe in corporate praying, and also believe in helping the women learn how to pray for themselves and intercede for others. So we just started something called Woman Rise Tribe prayer partnerships, and some women have signed up, and I've partnered them up together. So they started praying together. We just had a small group last week. Because I really believe God has called us to mature in things, and we can't depend on ministerial leaders or the pastors or whoever to help us grow. We have to do our own personal development. You know what I mean? Not just in our spiritual life, but other areas in our life. So we started these partnerships, and it's amazing. I'm just excited for the women. I'm excited to see them grow in the Lord, and intimacy with God, and also even connect with one another, because community is important. You cannot do life alone. Okay, we are not an island. We cannot do life alone.
These are, again, like you said, practical thing, biblical and practical, because I think, look, again, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on here, all those things. However, it's so key to connect the two, because people a lot of times they come to their place of worship, whatever it may be, that type, and they listen and this, that, and the other. They pray, they participate, they join committees, councils, and they fellowship, and then they're like, okay, now how do I take what you said about thou art thou and make it 2023 in my life, where I got this nut that I want to slap the crap out.
Listen, emotional management.
But you tell me, just go read your Bible. That's fine. I can read. You can give me the scriptures. But now, how do I take that?
Mm-hmm.
The practical, exactly. So I love it. And here on this one in your Instagram, with prayer partnerships with Woman Rise Tribe, it speaks of, please fill out the form if you'd like to participate. Where can is that still open for people to?
So we just started November session. We're going to finish November session. I'm going to probably, I'm going to talk to the ladies, but most likely we'll bring it back in January, and so we'll pitch it again in December, and then we probably start back again in January for the either the women are going to, some of the women go continue, or we'll do a new cohort. Yeah.
And so it'll be announced on all your social media. And like how this one is saying, fill out the form. Would they go to your website to fill out that form? Or is there a link up above here on Instagram? When that time comes, where will they go? I just want to say it here because sometimes people just need to hear it and not get frustrated in the moment when they're trying to find it.
In January, but I'll bring it back. I'll start sharing it, posting about it next month.
Okay. All right, guys. Look, that sounds like something again that helps with it being practical. Come on, y'all talk about, oh, they always talking this, just pray, just do this, do that. You always complaining about something. Now you got a sister that said, look, I'm gonna bring it down to modern times for you. Okay. Now what? So let me go back over here. Let's take this on off. Excellent. And go back and let's deal with some of the questions you get. Spiritual health connected to our mental and physical health.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that, your perspective on it, and I guess how it helps or hurts or could, and kind of how you play into that in your organization.
Okay. So for me, my foundation, I'm a Christian, so I'm a believer of Yahshua. So a lot of my stuff, my foundation starts from there. And as I said, regardless how anyone's walk of life is, it's really important to, and let me break it down like this. Even for spiritual health, it goes beyond religion. Okay. For me, it's about a relationship. All right. It's about having an authentic relationship. Understand there's regardless what religion you have, my religion is Christianity, but what a religion you have is always something higher than you. It's always about a purpose beyond you. Okay. So when you have understanding of your foundation and your foundation is solid, then it can help you mentally and physically. You have to understand that you are made as a spiritual being. This is what we have. This is flesh. All right. Our body is flesh. We have a spiritual being. So we have to also understand that we exist for purpose. So if you don't feel like your life has any type of meaning, right, or you feel like your life doesn't have any purpose, then you're not going to steward well your mental or your physical health. What's the point? You're literally living to exist. That's it. Instead of existing to live. So when you have that, when you can look beyond yourself and you have this relationship, whatever that higher power is for you, for me is Yahshua. So for me, because I have that relationship with God, not religiosity, I don't subscribe to religiosity. I don't subscribe to going to one weekly day or even 2 days to a church building is going to help me grow my relationship with God. There's something I still have to do within myself. I still have to pursue after him so I can be able to have a strong spiritual foundation. I'm not saying it's not okay to fellowship with others and go to church. That's not what I'm saying. But I know there's a lot of people that go to church, but they don't have a relationship with God. They don't do the work that is needed to build that relationship. So that's what I mean by your spiritual health has to be a foundation. You have to look beyond yourself. You have to understand that your life actually has purpose. You're created in purpose for purpose, intentionally. So when you have understanding that your life has purpose, you understand what your purpose is, or even have an idea of what your purpose is going to be, then you'll be able to take care of yourself more. You'll be able to steward over your mind. You'll be able to renew your mindset. You'll be able to take care of your body, your flesh. So, but if we don't have that idea, if we don't care about, we don't think we have any purpose in life, if we feel like our life has no meaning, then you're going to mismanage yourself. Okay. So that's what I mean by your spiritual health is connected to your mental and your physical health.
So Grace, I moved over a little bit because I want the people in the back to be able to hear it. I want them to and I'm keeping 100 because I'm one of those people in the back. When I did go to the physical building of a church, you can catch me on the back row. Okay, you can catch me on the back row. So sometimes you have to move to the side to make sure that we can hear it. We inclusive right here. Make sure we can hear it and we know that you're talking to us, and then we can catch those golden nuggets that you're throwing out, because those really were for some. And what did you call it? Religiosity. Say it again.
Religiosity. They have a religious spirit because everything is based on laws. Everything's based on, well, this was God said and God said this, but they don't understand the relationship. When you truly have a relationship with God and you love God, you want to honor him. You're willing to surrender your life. When I mean surrender life, I don't mean literally. I mean you're dying to your will, right? So when you actually have a relationship with God, it changes how you see everything, right? You want to please him. So it doesn't become like a rule book, right? Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. No, when you have a genuine relationship with God and you truly love God, you want to honor him. So therefore, you want to live your life that's pleasing to him. That's what a relationship is. It's just like having a relationship with your family, the people that you're close to, and different things like that. In order to have a relationship that is healthy, you have to communicate. You have to spend time with that person, right? Quality time. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Going to church does not mean that you have a relationship with God. And I know the saints are going to come after me, but we have to divorce ourselves from the idea of thinking because you went to church, because you open your Bible, the only time you open your Bible is when you go to church, or the only time you go to church is during whatever, Christmas, Easter, whatever people celebrate or whatever. That does not mean you have a relationship with God. And a lot of believers are bound to religiosity because they think, oh, because I go to church, I have a relationship with God, and they just want to go to heaven by the seat of their pants, and they're not fulfilling purpose on earth. When you're not fulfilling why you're created on earth, if you're not fulfilling that, then you actually slapping God in the face. Truth be told, because you're not fulfilling your purpose of what he called you to do. Let's keep it 100.
I'll talk me again because I like to throw myself in, so I'm not throwing these speakers out. They're pointing back at me. And I used to say, boy, if he take me tonight, which would be Saturday night, I'm in a hell of a struggle because of how I lived my life. I made it back to church on Sunday. But just like with a relationship, even with your significant other, you know what I'm saying? When I think of with my husband, there are certain things that I will and won't do. He doesn't even have to tell me. They're just certain things because I love him so much. Right. Him. And even with this show, there's certain things that I will and won't do because of the love and respect and what
respect. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Reverence. You reverence your spouse.
Yes.
He's your head, he's your husband, he's your king. So his thoughts, his opinions, and things that he values are important to you.
And I'm a representation of him when I'm out and about.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Monet, ma'am, pass the offering plate. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Because you love your husband so much and you understand that you guys are two became one, you're one, you represent him. You're not going to be out here trying to embarrass him in these streets. But the beautiful thing too about having a relationship with God, as we compared the relationship you have with your spouse or someone that you love, the Bible talks about Christ loves he tells husbands to love their brides as Christ loves the church, right? So our relationship with God, so we are considered his bride. We're the church. We're considered his bride, and I believe church are people. Church is not a building. The building is where you can fellowship and commune together, but church are the people. And because you have because you truly have the beauty of that relationship is also your husband gives you grace, right? When he knows you're going to make a mistake because you're human. You know he's going to make a mistake because he's human. You're willing to forgive him. He's willing to forgive you. You guys are willing to work together. It's the same thing with having a relationship with God. You know, he gives us grace, he forgives us, right? But at the same token, we cannot abuse his grace. Just because your husband forgives you things doesn't mean that you're going to continuously do things that's going to grieve his heart, because you know it's going to hurt him, right? So you're going to do your best not to do that. So you have that change behavior. It's the same thing. So God gives us grace, right? He's not a tyrant. You know, he's not waiting for us to make a mistake. He loves us, right? He's not waiting for you to make a mistake. Oh, you're doomed because you made a mistake. That's not the God that I serve. I don't know the God that you serve. That's not the God that I serve, okay? So he gives us that space, but he's also going to want to help you be transformed. He chasts those that he loves. So just like your husband wants you to be the best Monet, right? He wants to be a better version of yourself. He's going to correct you. He's going to correct you in a loving way that's not going to embarrass you and hurt you or anything, but he sees what's good in you. So he wants to bring that out in you. It's the same type of dynamic. So because you honor, not fear as in tremble, the fear as in honor your husband. You love your husband. You cherish your husband. You're representative of your husband. You're going to do things. You're going to want to operate in a way, speak in a way that's respectful to him, operate in a way that honors him, that you know if this bothers him, you're going to consider that. It's the same way we have to be with God, right? It's the same way we have to love and we have to honor him as well and represent him well, because there's people who may never walk into the church building. There are people who may not pick up about it, but you're representing their life as a living epistle. So they're looking at you like you thought you was a believer. You out here acting buck wild in the street. Man, what you doing? Since you for the streets. Are you for the streets? Like, what's going on here? So we don't want to operate in hypocrisy. I'm just saying, listen, I'm the poster child of that. Okay. I just renewed my relationship with God 5 years ago. I didn't meet God in no church, y'all, in the building. I met God on my bedroom floor at my lowest point in life. Okay. I had everything going for myself, but inside I was a hotmess.com. All right. So when I say God will meet you at your point of need, he will. He's not like humans that judge you, have preconceived notions of you, judges you for your past. He sees your present. Okay. He's ready to take a picture of you and post it on his Instagram. You know how people do? They ready to see you embarrass yourself and put you, next thing you know, you on Shade Room somewhere. God is not like that. God is not like that. So I'm passionate. I love the Lord. I was screaming to the rooftop, and I just want to help in my life. Whatever I do is about shining a light on him, no matter where he puts me in. You know what I mean? Whether it's in my job, just the way I communicate with my patients. I don't have to go in there and tell them, oh, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. No. They know that I operate different because I speak differently. I behave differently. I don't treat them, I treat them like human beings, as we all should. Whether you have a relationship with God or not, we should strive to be good people. Period.
Okay, let's just keep it up, because also perception is reality. And sometimes a person's perception is, I am doing that. And they don't know, possibly. I'd say either you don't know, and you want to know and you want to change or do something, or you don't know and you don't care, or you know and you don't care.
Right. That's it.
Functioning and how you can then interact with them on a personal level, and I accept people where they are. When I was, I think 20, is when I kind of got that part of it, is that I kept getting hurt by people I was helping and whatever. And then I looked and I said, well, they just being who they are. They didn't have a mask. They didn't try and fool me. I chose to say, oh no, you're not going to take my car and crash it because you did it to everybody else, or you told me you don't have this. I chose to take my stove out the kitchen, put it in my living room, turn it on, and try and sit on it and not get burnt.
Ma'am, yes.
I chose to do that. Yeah. Well, I should have kept it in the kitchen and let it do what it there, and then been happy with it being itself a stove. Trying to make my lounge chair, and now I'm upset, I'm hurt. No, that. I get full knowledge. So, like you said, meeting a person where they are, is so helpful. And again, I'm not speaking a specific religious name or a church or anything like that, whatever you want to call the person that you worship, as far as your higher spirit that leads you to righteousness and different things like that. Believe me, division. Now, this is my view, because division is one of the biggest things. I think it says it in the Bible. I'm not one to quote it because I don't know the full Bible or things like that. But division is one of the things that they use to separate and fool us, as far as with the devil and everything. So don't get misled by the difference in skin, the difference
Yeah.
in what we speak, the difference in
Yeah.
what building we walk into, or
Right.
pray on my knees, or if I shout and dance, or if I won't wear a skirt and makeup.
Yeah, that's superficial.
Look for the look for the commonality, because there is commonality in each
Yeah.
and every one. And
Yeah.
that's the best way, my opinion, the way I have found in my 51 years, is to connect again and try to bring us all back together on some medium level. You still ain't got to come out and be a Buddhist, but we know we can gather and we can appreciate that tree, or understand the cycle that you talk about that I may never think about. Let's teach each other and learn from one
The
another.
humanity. We gotta beat people. People are gonna have human moments. Because although I stand on a specific religion, and I'm gonna be bold about it. That's me. You know me, that's how God created me, and I'm gonna stand on that. However, I understand that everyone has a different walk of life. I understand that we're all human at the end of the day. We have to learn to meet people in their human moments. Just because I love God and I'm a believer doesn't mean okay. And I want to illustrate, let people know that I want people to understand that you're gonna make mistakes. That's the human part of us. Acknowledge that. Understand your past does not define who you are. And I think a lot of times we can judge a little harshly on people too much, and don't understand that we all this life is a journey. It's not a destination. None of us have a lot. I don't care how long you've been saved. You could have been saved 1,000 years. I don't care. We all have a journey to walk. You know what I mean? None of us have arrived, and we all have a past. So we can't allow our past to define us, and we have to meet each other at their point of need. And what I think, like you said, you thought this person would have did this or do that. A lot of times, we project what we want that person to do. We create these false narratives in our heads and have these unrealistic expectations of people. And then when people don't meet them, you're pissed off at them. Why are you pissed off? You created this image of a person that does not even exist. This person might have shown you, I'm not saying people can change, but this person might have shown you a pattern of behavior, not a human moment, but a pattern of poor behavior. And you still continue to stick your head in the lion's den. Don't be afraid when your head gets chopped off. You can love people from afar. It's for setting healthy boundaries.
Absolutely.
We have to learn to be able to steward our mental health well. We have to learn how to set healthy boundaries. It doesn't mean you don't. It doesn't mean you hate the person. It doesn't mean you dislike the person. You just dislike their behavior. And if you have already voiced their behavior, and not told them like this is what I observe, and you have that conversation with them, and they still not respecting your boundaries, then that may be a relationship that you need to separate from and love these people from afar, including family. So I agree with that. I think that we get so caught up in things that are so small. Like, who cares if you're wearing pants to worship? It's stupid. It's not really showing you that person's heart. So when you give people a chance and get to know them, you'll see, they're human just like you. You know what I mean? And there you can have that connection, and it gives you opportunity to have those tough conversations. For me, I may not start coming out telling you that, my relationship with God, but I can tell you what God's done for me. I can share my testimony. All I'm here to say is I am not a savior. And I don't pretend to be. I'm not.
I can remember specifically one incident with church when I was attending a traditional, non-traditional church, and it was a women's group or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it. Whatever. The lady invited me, and so went. And I'm still out in the world. I got my man and this man and whatever. I'm at the club once in a while. I'm still, whatever. I'm living life, okay, fully out there. And so, yeah, I mentioned, okay, respect your body, and God wants you this. And I'm like, well, sister, okay, me getting on my knees just praying, ain't praying, this feeling. And ain't nobody here willing to say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it 100. When she spoke, and she spoke of how, the position she was in church and this, that, and the other. And she said, but I'm single. She's like, and look, just last month I had an issue that praying alone didn't fix.
Listen.
But that, it wasn't it was a,
yeah, it's real.
This
person, it's real.
They're willing to help me with that, to say, okay, that's how I did it, because I was there. And I just tell you, girl, get on your knees and pray. Put your Bible on your forehead.
Osmosis.
Must.
It takes more than prayer, baby. It takes more than prayer.
We would talk about it back then. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different places too. And they wouldn't talk about it and talk about how they were still making mistakes, or they like, sister, I still need you. I might need to call you and say, look, come over here.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So when this brother come, I want
the transparency. That's important.
Right. So that we really can help and heal with each other. And, just having that. Now, you also wanted to talk about, as far as with your own story leading to healing, activating your own voice. Yeah. Talk about with healing and whatnot with that. So I definitely want you to take a moment to touch on that. So
yeah. Just to piggyback off what you said, it's about being vulnerable. It's about being transparent. And I think vulnerability and transparency starts with ourselves. You can't be vulnerable and transparent with someone else if you can't be honest with yourself. So before you can even activate your voice to own your story, to lead to healing, you have to own your story. Literally, you have to own your story, the good, bad, and ugly. And I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. Like I said, I've been doing this thing. I grew up, don't get it twisted, I grew up in church. My mother is a deaconess. And I never had a personal relationship with God. My relationship with God was based on my mom. Really, that was what it was. So when I was old enough to make my own decisions, I got deuces. I still love God. I understood. I knew how to pray. She instilled that in us since we were kids. We are prayer warriors. I knew some of the word, but I never applied it to my life. So yeah, sis was all over the place. I was in multiple toxic relationships. Really looking for love in the wrong place. I didn't have a genuine relationship with my dad. I didn't have a relationship with my dad until I became really a teenager, but he wasn't really emotionally available. We still didn't have a real father and daughter relationship. Growing up, I didn't have my dad for a good portion of my childhood. My parents were separated, so I didn't have my dad. When we were really young, I grew up in a domestic women's shelter when we were kids. So I would see, thankfully, there was things my parents went through, but as you said earlier, there's some things that I saw other kids' parents were going through. So my situation wasn't as severe. I never really saw my dad put his hands on my mom, but it was very verbal. I didn't see healthy relationships. So of course, I would migrate to dysfunctional relationships and think, oh, because they love me, you know what I'm saying, that this is it. And I would use sex as a void. I used to drink. I used to smoke weed. Yes, I did all that. You know what I mean? So with all that going on in my life was a tired life. Academically, I was doing well. People on the outside would say, oh, she got it together. But no, just a long hurt. So I had to own that. I had to own all of that. I had to own what people have done to me. I had to own what I've done to people. I had to own, the mistakes that I had made, the things I felt like were disappointments and failures. Okay. Before I even had a relationship with the Lord, I had just graduated from grad school. I tell people I just graduated from grad school. I was able to keep the house that I had in Maryland, because prior to that, my engagement was broken. I was with someone for 7 years. We were engaged to get married, and he left me. That's what the boys' mouths were. Trust me, it was for the best. It was for the best for the both of us. But that relationship fell apart, and I'm so used to survival mode. Like, I ain't worried about it. I got things to do. I got a child to take care of. I can't fall for that. But really, I was depressed. really I was using things as a void and not dealing with my problems. So in order to even activate my voice to start my healing process, I had to acknowledge that I was a hot mess. I had to let my pride down. Like, I need help. I need help. I can't do this on my own. I cannot do this on my own. And the only reason why I even got up to do things is because of my son. I didn't have any motivation or energy. I just did not care. And, you know, I finished school. I was like, okay, well, I know I'm going to get my boards, do my boards. So I did things because I knew I had to, not necessarily a real desire to do it, because I was going through a real depression. And I never got diagnosed with it. I never went to see a therapist or anything to get diagnosed for clinical depression, but I knew how I felt. And I started, you know, talking to my community about it. And that's when God got a hold of me, like, girl, these relationships you've been throughout these years, these relationships you was using them compensating for your lack of your relationship with your dad. So I had to forgive my dad, release my dad, and know he could only be the best that he could for what he knew. That's it. I'm not condoning him for anything. I'm not, you know, condoning his behavior, but he could only do the best that he could do for what he knew. Okay. So in order for me to move on, I had to release him and know that was the root of my issue. That was the root of my issue. And this is why I was migrating to all these places. So activating our voice to own our stories to lead to healing, you have to also take ownership of the part that you play in the things that you go through. Because there's a part that we do play. There are some unfortunate circumstances that happen to us. I'm not talking about people who's been physically violated or sexually violated or any of that stuff. But what I'm talking about, when we make certain decisions that we know aren't wise, a lot of times it comes from trauma. A lot of times it comes from something that we have not really dealt with. So now we are making poor decisions based on things that we haven't dealt with. And I was making a lot of poor decisions because I didn't heal. I didn't heal.
Something you said was so key. You were in survival mode. Survival mode isn't living.
Yeah.
It isn't living. And I'm speaking of because I've been there and I go back there once in a while myself and know the difference. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. And I can remember the cops coming to the house one time and he was in there and then he's, you know, just looking around and he saw a steel bat behind the door. Mm-hmm. And he said, you do know that that's not normal, right? And I was like, what? He's like, to have to live with a steel bat behind your door. And he said that, and I didn't say anything. However, it stuck. And I'm like, it's not normal? Yeah. Like I made it normal because that was my survival. So this is what you do. This is what you do. Like, I don't even remember the day I put it back there, but obviously something made that a norm for me.
Right. Normalized it in your mind. Yeah.
Exactly. But in that survival mode. So I'm not living. And this is basically what he's saying to me. Hey, like, you're not even living your life truly. Yeah. Like, I might as well take you onto a cell right now and put you in there. You know,
you was living in fear, but that's stemmed from trauma.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, that's a scary part, but who better to help guide them through than a sister with all them degrees and experience?
Listen, I think my life experience trumps any degree. Honestly, I am not a degree or title people. I have patients that they'll call me Dr. Grace. I'm like, please don't do
that. You know the fancy names for all of it.
Right. Your life experience would teach you more than school can ever teach you, to be honest with you. Absolutely. Textbook, it gives you like textbook stuff, but in order to really connect with people, you have to share what you've been through. You have to be relatable. You have to be able to meet them at their point of need. That's all it is.
So can I ask you a semi, maybe all the way personal, but may I ask you a question here?
Go ahead. I'm an open book.
I like that. Be careful with me with that one.
She said, don't get that. Look at Monet. I am not going to be on Shade Room somewhere. Okay? I am a woman of God.
Then yours, like,
you're going to have me on the church version. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have a church version. I'm like, y'all don't know what this is. Okay? Y'all not going to have me up in here.
I'm just gonna let you know. I gotta
go. Gossip blog. You're not. I know you syndicate in all these different countries. You ain't gonna have them talk about me in Nigeria.
For good reasons. They will be for good reasons. I promise you that. So now you're in school with all your various licenses and levels of degree. Once you got into your actual profession, the study of that, how therapeutic was that for you?
To get into the mental health?
Yes, the actual, I mean, you're doing it to learn, and this is going to be your profession and then your passion and everything. However, I know that something has to go on when you start reading and you start analyzing and different things like that. How therapeutic on the plus or negative side or in the middle, back and forth, was that for you? And when you turn that mirror on yourself during those times?
Introspection is so hard for anybody. Right? Even if you don't work in mental health, but I've been working in mental health since for over 10 years. So I became a nurse practitioner, mental health one about 5 years now. So even working in the mental health from back then, I still have my struggles. I never really took the time to really look. I knew I dealt with certain things, but I never really took the time to really deal with those things because I went to school in steps and I had a child to take care of. Like you said, I've always was in survival mode. I've always been a go-getter. And a lot of that stuff, some of it was performance driven. You know, they weren't really, they're like, oh, let me get this, let me get that. So it wasn't really after graduate school that said, after I got myself together and having a relationship with God, and I'm like, okay, I don't have to perform for anybody. I'm enough on my own. So I think once I realized it wasn't even about the studying the things and learning what these different mental health illnesses, even though I've been in mental health for pretty much my whole nursing career. So I've had experience of dealing with people with different types of disorders and how to help them. So you know how people don't take their own advice?
Absolutely.
During those time periods, I ain't taking my own advice. Okay. Truthfully, none of that school stuff meant anything. None of that stuff. It wasn't until my relationship with God when He had me sit with myself and start looking into myself. That's when introspection really started. Like, okay, Grace, this is why you respond this way. You are a reactor. You're not a responder. You're reacting out of emotions. You need to check yourself. I really had to really sit with myself and take time. So I went through a self-discovery journey. I stopped dating. Back then, I stopped dating. I was like, I need to focus on me and get myself together, because what value can I bring to someone else when I have all this going on to myself? I can't come into someone's life with all this baggage. And I'm not saying that the person won't be grace to help you. I'm not saying that you'll be whole when you meet someone. None of us are perfect. There's going to be places where your spouse is going to unpack things and help you deal with things, right? So that's not what I'm saying. But I knew that it wouldn't be fair to the man of God to come in and not have done healing and not dealt with myself. So school really, all those years of school, even working in mental health on the floor as a staff nurse, it really didn't do much for me. It gave me the theory. So I had the knowledge to help people and would help people, but I didn't apply it to myself. So it wasn't until I really had a relationship with God and He's like, you need to deal with this stuff. You over here praying for this man, baby girl, you got some stuff you need to deal with. That's how He talked to me, y'all. That's how God talked to me. So He's like, you need to deal with your stuff, ma'am. So it wasn't until I really took time to really look into myself and went through my self-discovery journey. I was on that journey for like a year and some change. And then I had community. He gave me opportunity to connect with other people, to do some counseling, to go through those steps and have a community to help point out, okay, Grace, you need to work on this. You know, these are the places that you're strong in. So I always had a community. Then I could kind of bring back what I learned in school about coping strategies, and it started to make sense. But I had to get to the root first. I can't start applying things to my life and I don't even know what I'm dealing with. So I tell people all the time, you have to actually acknowledge what the problem is before you can know how to fix it. I can apply coping strategies in my life to manage what I was going through if I didn't even know what that was. So school was great and all. It gave me the theory, but practical application did not happen until I started looking into myself and start seeing the areas that I needed to work on and really, really acknowledge the good and bad and ugly of grace so I can be a better person for myself, for my son, for my unborn children, for my husband, for other people. So it all started from the inside out. So that's how school kind of played in my life after I did the work.
I love that. I love the honesty. Again, I love the honesty with it, because I think, well, and I'll speak for the people since I'm saying it, y'all. This is what y'all saying, okay? You know, you think, oh, when you go through that, get all that education, and people either they don't know or don't think about, or whatever it is, that therapists have therapists. Okay, I don't know if that's a requirement. I think it should be. I don't know if it is. However, you have a lot that's unpacked and dumped on you. And you know, you have your relationship with God, you have your relationship with the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and all those things, and then you have this other person that comes, that went through all this schooling like you did, that you need to help unpack and detach and shake off. And then some things may trigger you. I mean, because you're human and you've experienced things. You didn't grow up being the doctor of who you are right now. So all of those things are real life things. I think that a lot of times that as individuals or patients, customers, clients, that we don't think about a lot of times. And also because, you know, our therapist doesn't, or our psychiatrist or whomever doesn't say, hey, you know, I'm sad today.
Yeah. Actually, I heard some stories. Some do. I don't. But I agree with you. I had a mentor for like a year and some change, and a coach.
Okay.
So I agree with you. I have a community of friends, sisters that I can be open and transparent with, you know. So I advocate, because you're right, it's heavy. A lot of things are heavy, and it's so amazing to me. I even have patients like, "But how are you doing today, Grace?" And they're genuine because we have a rapport. I've known them for, you know, I've been working with them for a while. So I was like, you know what? Now that you mention it, you know what? It could be better. So I have that type of rapport with my patients. So, you know, so they do ask me, or if they notice, you know, I may sound a little down, and I may not even be down. I'm just tired, because I'm usually, this is what you're getting is grace. I'm always like on 10. So when they don't hear that, they're like, what's going on with you today? You're not bubbly as usual or joyful as usual. And I'm usually tired, or there may be something going on in my mind. But I also take mental health breaks. I will take a break. I will not show up. I will call them like, I need off today. I believe in that. So
you know, but you say that, but that is so important. And I'm thinking, because again, I'm thinking as a patient or whomever, oh, you can't ever do that because you have this person relying and this person relying.
Not great. I think mental health break. If I'm not feeling well, I'm not. Because I feel like God gave me a responsibility. Being a medical provider is a huge responsibility. So I don't just prescribe meds. I'm literally here. I have to steward over your soul, your mind, and your heart. You know, I need to be mentally well. You know, I need to be able to be an attentive listener. I need to hear what you're not telling me. You know, I'm prescribing medications for you. I have to, maybe I don't do full-blown counseling, but I walk people through things. So I need to make sure I'm doing well. And I'm sorry. The Bible says, love thy neighbor as thyself. I have to love myself first before I can love anyone. Everything comes from the inside out. So if I'm gonna have an overflow, then I have to make sure I'm well. I have to make sure I'm pouring, not from an empty cup. So I don't have a problem taking off work if I need to, you know, take a mental health day, or even I set boundaries. So even for my workspace, I don't have access to emails after work, weekends. I don't work on call. I don't work weekends. I make sure my patients are taken care of. If it's an emergency, then of course they know they have an emergency hotline or crisis where they can go to. If it can wait till they see me, great. But I don't play them type of games, because if I'm here going to educate someone about work-life balance, why am I walking around being raggedy? I learned that lesson during COVID, and I'm not going to do it again. Okay, so I'm not going to Grace, no. Because in the day, guess what? This is my career. But I love what I do. As long as God allows me to continue doing it, I'll do it until He tells me, Grace, it's time to move on. But my home is my first ministry. So I have to make sure my home is solid. So I have to take care of the things in my home. So that comes first before any job. And people can say whatever they want to say. That comes first. So if my child is not feeling well or something's off in my home, I need to take care of that. Because if my home is not operating well, how am I going to be able to show up in excellence in other places? So I think a lot of people, they got it backwards, and they give so much to a job, but they don't know if, God forbid, they drop dead tomorrow, their job is going to, the ad is going to be up. Okay. The ad is going to be right up because they need somebody. So I know people don't want to think that. They think, oh, my job value. Your job may value you. There's nothing, I'm not saying they don't, but we have to start taking care of ourselves. We have to start taking care of ourselves. Okay. So I prioritize myself. Period.
She doesn't just talk about it. She don't just play it on TV. She about that life. She is about that life.
I'm about that life.
So now, and this plays into kind of what one of the other things that you were talking about, as far as how your belief system affects that interpersonal relationship. Now, the first thing I'm going to ask is this, because I don't know, I actually don't know the answer. What is the difference in intrapersonal and interpersonal?
So intrapersonal is a relationship with yourself. Then inter is with other people.
Okay. So your belief system affects your relationship with yourself,
and how you take care of yourself.
Okay, which is what you were saying.
Yeah.
And excuse me, you guys, Grace gonna take care of herself so that she then can help.
You just see I showed up in excellence. You see my skin glowing. Okay. Look, I was ready for you, Monet. I got a rest after work. I'm multi-investing. I do this all the time.
No, it is correct. You're correct. Because when I have it happen, if I don't prepare correctly, or if I have a million things and I haven't taken care of this right here, then I'm frazzled. You come in here and then you look frazzled.
It messes up everything. You're right.
However, when you prepared and you settle,
everything just flows. Like you just chill.
Exactly, like you bankhead bouncing with it. You got a little
tune. Okay, I see you, ma'am. I love it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about when you're in your car and everything. It's good, or if
you just got the joy. Ain't nobody can mess you up. Oh, you trying to cut me off in traffic today? Okay, you can have that.
You can go right ahead, buddy.
I'm not even going to fuss at you right now because I'm in a good mood.
You're at the same place at the light. When you act like you're not looking over here, you still gonna see them shoulders.
You just like, okay now. That's when you steward well over yourself. And I'm not saying life ain't gonna have challenges. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna go overwhelmed. That's not true. You know what I mean? But when you're taking care of yourself, there's an overflow. So I tell people, give yourself permission to say yes to yourself. When you give permission to yourself to say yes, everybody gets the benefits of it. But when you don't learn how to set boundaries, when you overextend yourself, you just show up burnt out. And then you're mad at everybody else and their mama, and anybody told you sign up for that in the first place.
And I did remember ask you, is there any more orange juice in the refrigerator? You done went off.
You done bit someone's head off of something so trivial. Like, why is she mad? I don't even know, because I don't even know why I'm mad.
I got an issue with orange juice, and now we just
like it's a catastrophe. Life is going to end because I don't have no orange juice. No, baby, you don't get your good 8-9 hours of sleep, boo. That's why you're irritated. That's what it is. That is what it is.
And guys, look, and I am running at the bottom of there the new crisis line number for you. If you are having any type of mental health, substance abuse, any type of issues like that, or someone who is that may need help, you can go online to 988lifeline.org, Or you can dial, take your little fingers and dial, honey. I was going to say you don't need change, but payphones aren't existing anymore. I'm showing my dinosaur age.
No, ma'am. They exist, but I don't think nobody can find them.
Whenever I see them, I take pictures. I stop and take a picture with them.
Oh, goodness. Listen.
Take a picture and just, here's a payphone.
Right.
You know, or you can dial 988 from any phone that you are on and ask questions, get resources, whatever it may be. If you had a question of, can they help me? Just dial a number. Okay, better to dial it and find out, oh no, let me send you over here and get you another resource than not dial it and be, stretching yourself out or have a situation go worse. So that one last thing of Moni blasting her music when she come past you, bankhead bouncing, and you like, you know what? I don't like Missy Elliott. Okay, Moni?
I don't like Missy Elliott. People said that. I look at them like, are you kidding? Oh, you mad man. You mad today. That's why you don't like Missy Elliott.
My viewers know my youngest son, which my boys are in their 20s. They're closer to 30 than 20. My youngest hates Missy Elliott. And hold on. And it's my fault, he says, because when they were small, and they would do something wrong. I have two boys, they're 18 months apart. So it's like having twins, and they would do something wrong. And we had like a 3-level condo back then. And I would take them in the basement and I turned the Missy Elliott on. I just turned the music on. Evidently I had a Missy Elliott tape in there and I turned it on and whooped they behind. And he was like, get to whoop it to the beat.
That baby's been traumatized. I got PTSD. So every time they hear Missy Elliott, they just get triggered.
I really could care less. It probably was my fault he was getting beat. I turned on Missy Elliott one day. This was probably within the last 10 years for sure. I turned it on and he flipped. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You don't like her? I'm like, how can you, just like you, how can you not like Missy Elliott?
Yeah, Missy Elliott's super dope.
He's like, I'm not. Turn it. I'm like, what is wrong? And he told me, and I don't remember it per se.
Yeah.
Stuff I do. It does. It sounds like me 100%. So I totally, it sounds like my character for them when I was raising them. Yeah.
Our kids remember everything. They remember everything.
On it sometimes with the trauma. He's like, well, this is what I remember. And I'm like, oh Lord.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. That's a funny story.
Has given me the ability to go back and apologize to my own mother quite a bit and give I didn't recall some of them stories.
Right. When you have kids, it makes you like, okay, I know what my parents are talking about.
Baby, that didn't happen like that. I'm like, yes, it did. You can tell. As an adult,
they're so funny.
I don't know what you getting old. That did happen, and now looking back, that my son does that to me. I'm like, you are tripping, dude. That did not happen. What over in your head? What type of coping mechanism kicked in or something? But that's not how that went down.
That's hilarious. Wow, that's a funny story.
Yeah, and again, perception is reality. Also,
the perception, right?
Yeah, and with my husband, that's something that I had to, and then shared it with him, because there are things he said, you're doing this or this happened, whatever. And I mean, he is just adamant about it. Like, this is it. And I'm adamant that no. And I'm saying, as well as I believe my perception of the situation, I need to respect his perspective, even though I agree with it, because it's real for him.
Yeah, it's real.
It's real as mine is, and I want him to understand, no, it ain't. That didn't.
Yeah.
It's just as real. Just because it's opposing does not make it not real.
Right.
That part helped me so much within the relationship with us, and then with other people outside of, a close, intimate relationship, because you believe it.
Yeah.
As much as I said I'm in front of a green screen, and someone will say, no, Grace is in front of a green screen. You're one. Right. Their perception and what they see. And I need to start there with respect.
That's so good. That's the key also, with communication. You don't have to agree with people, but you have to have empathy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because as you said, I'm sure that was a lot um, situations that could have been escalated to your husband. You know what I mean? Like you may not agree with what he's saying or even how he feels, but you have empathy, which means you have understanding, and try to understand that other's point of view and understand, and their walk of life. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times we don't have enough. We're not empathetic listeners. We're just listening to what we want to hear, and then we just respond. We just reply, but we don't have a level of understanding. And communication is something that takes time to learn. I still am something I'm learning. I do this for a living. But you just drop some gem. You probably save somebody $1,000 in therapy to learn. That's the first basic rule of communication: active listening.
Shoot, I'm 51 years old and my husband is right behind me, and I'm saying, wow, that's something was new. You said when you see on Instagram or TikTok all the time, it's a guy, he's like, I'm 49 years old when I learned.
Yes.
Smile.
Yes.
And there's no shame in it.
It's a learning curve. No one wakes up knowing how to communicate. And to be honest with you, as human beings, we can be pretty selfish.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest with ourselves. We can be pretty selfish. And I always feel like, do you want peace in the house or do you want to be right?
Ooh.
Sometimes you have to, that's where that dying of flesh comes. You have to die to your opinion. Okay. So if you want to have peace in your home and you're in this married covenant, you want to have peace in your home. Sometimes you just gotta, sometimes you have to listen. You have to be an empathetic listener. You have to validate their feelings. And as women, let me tell y'all, drop some dimes. I'm not married yet, but let me drop a gem for you guys. Men are, believe it or not, and some men would not admit this to y'all, but believe it or not, men are a lot more sensitive than we think, that we give them key to be. Okay. And I'm not saying an ego or anything like that, but I am saying that I believe there's two things in men. There's an inner child that needs to be nurtured and a king that you need to speak life into. Okay. So as women, sometimes we have to zip it. Sometimes we have to learn to, and a lot of women are like, I'm not going to stroke his ego. Baby, you better compliment him. And you have to start, and I'm doing this even learning with my son. I'm learning even with my son, like, let me not start with something negative. There may be something I want him to do, and he may not have, like he didn't clean his room. Like if he's not cleaning his room, like I said, I need to start with something positive. Like today he came in the house. He didn't come straight in the house. He saw the trash can was still out there from the people getting the trash this morning. I didn't get a chance to get it. Instead of, he opened the door, but he went through the garage and went and got that trash can in. You know what I mean? So I had to acknowledge, oh, thank you. I appreciate you bringing that trash can in, because he really didn't have to do it. He could just walk past it. But if I come in and he comes in, I'm starting going on him about not cleaning his room, and I didn't acknowledge that positive thing that he just did. What you're doing is you are shutting down, you're bringing down their self-esteem. And I know as women, we feel like, oh, men are strong, they should suck it up. No. You're supposed to speak life into the king in him. So when you start with positive reinforcement and be genuine about it, if you start with the positive before you start talking about the negative things or things that you want to talk about, you will soften his heart. He will listen to you. But as women, we just have to learn how to do those different type of things. Okay, we just have to learn how to do those type of things and be active. Men want to be heard. They want a safe space. So the way you're dealing with your husband, trying to see his perspective, just because you may not agree with what he's saying at the moment, you may not even agree with his behavior, but you're trying to see his perspective. What you're doing, you're creating a safe space for your husband to be able to be himself. You're creating a safe space where he's not going to shut down. Okay. And a lot of women wonder, why is my man not talking to me? Why is he shutting down? Are you a safe space? Ask yourself that. Has he ever shared anything with you when you were back in his face? I have done this before. So this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Okay. So those are things we need to take into consideration. We can't be when you're dealing with another human being, especially in a state of marriage or relationship, you can't be selfish. Okay, because your selfishness will destroy your relationship. So we have to check ourselves. And you have to understand that men are just as sensitive, and they may not may not emotionally communicate things like us because we're wired that way. God wired us as emotional beings. They wired men as more logical and practical. Not that it's not interchangeable. Women are also practical and logical at times. Men can be emotional at times too. It can be interchangeable, but you have to know who your person is. You have to know who your partner is and study that person. But as women, we have to divorce ourselves from this thought that men don't have feelings, men, all these different things, and you're not speaking life. You just starting out negative all the time, nagging all the time, and not creating a safe space around him. Then you wonder why he's not communicating with you. He done shut down because his past experience with you. And it doesn't mean that you can't fix it. This is where counseling can come in. Okay, and bring someone in to kind of help y'all guide through that. I am not a marriage counselor. Do not DM me for advice. Okay, let me just put that out there. Because my patients will ask me stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not a marriage family therapist, but I can just share with my experience and what other women, what I've learned over the years, but do not ask me for those things because I do not want to be like responsible for anything that happens in your marriage. Right. But the reason why I brought it up is because what you said is a key point. Being able to look at someone else's perspective, be empathetic. We are people who we can sympathize with people, give people pity, but we don't have empathy. The difference between sympathy and empathy is that there's an understanding. Sympathy is when you pity someone. Empathy is when you actually want to understand that person and their situation. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, and what I kind of tell people also is with sympathy and empathy is that sympathy is that I'm going to stand on this side of the line and look at you. Empathy, I'm going to go across the line and sit right next to you, try to sit in your seat.
Yeah.
Understand. I feel for you. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay. I ain't trying to hear, trying to feel, trying to take none of that off. Sent you a card. I didn't put how with Facebook now it'll auto propagate those things.
Yeah.
I didn't have to type it. So that's
right.
Felt that.
No effort.
None. It may seem like no, but then when it's something else or someone who I'm far more connected with or connected, something hits me with that situation, I may then go in their inbox or I may take it directly.
Right. There's intentionality. You're intentional about, you're being genuine. Yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly.
I think this is a country, we're in a country, I've traveled abroad from certain places. I want to do more international traveling, but I've noticed in this country, this is a country where you could ask someone, how someone asks how you're doing, or they'll ask you how you're doing. They don't even wait for a response. It's just natural. It's like how you doing? It's just a part of good morning. And we have to take the time. If we're going to ask someone how you're doing, we need to take the time to actually get their response and what they're saying. Well, but it is something that we have to unlearn.
Who are shocked, and I don't say people, sometimes I'm people that or annoyed when the person actually starts responding with their going on. And I'm like, damn, that's not what.
Be prepared for the answer that may come out their mouth. Okay, this is a warning sign. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Be prepared.
Great point, and such a great example. And if we take a moment to think about it, and people say, well, how you doing or how's it going? I'm like, look, I have no real complaints. And like I was telling you earlier, because there are people worse. And I also tell people in passing, I'm like, look, when it starts mattering, I will be first in line and I'll say you a spot right next to
me.
Nobody can ready to do nothing about none of my woes but me.
Oh goodness.
No need.
Listen, be prepared for people's response. I remember years ago, I was in Staples or something, Office Depot, one of those places, and we were aligned just shooting the breeze, like we were talking to people. And this guy, I just asked him, how you doing? Oh, Lord, baby. I think he missed his therapy appointment. Poor thing. He unloaded on me in the waiting line. I was like, okay. I have my computer paper right here. I said, I just want to buy my computer paper. But because I opened that up, I listened to him, what he had to say. But it's just amazing what people bottle up. And I see a lot in the, we call it spiritual bypassing. My friend, Melissa, coined that, or maybe she got it from someone else. I don't know. I'm putting her out there. She made me watch the podcast. So So she's the spiritual bypassing when people ask, people fake, like, how are you doing? They're like, I'm blessed and highly favored. Ma'am, no, you're not. You're going through some things. I can see it all in your face.
Right.
But it becomes like this thing people say, and they're not being real. They're not being real. And this is why we have, in all seriousness, we have so much stuff that's within us that we have not gotten out because we're walking around with a mask. We don't want people to see the true nature of who we are. We don't want to let people see that we do have problems as it is. And I think it does a disservice for people who may not know God, like I said, who may not walk into a church building, who may not pick up a Bible, who doesn't have access to a Bible, when you're not being real. So they automatically assume everybody in the faith community got it all together. So when they see people who may have failed, they're like, oh my gosh, shocking, look at that believer. They done fell, not knowing this person is human. And we done put people in this pedestal and done made them we've done idolized them, made them a God, which is idolatry. You know what I mean? So when they fall, we don't have no empathy for them. You know what I mean? Like, look at this person. This person was human. They're not God. They're not perfect. All we can do is strive to be the best that we can be. But when we walking around with a mask and not being honest with ourselves, even the Bible tells us to confess our sins to one another so we may pray for one another. How in the world is someone supposed to help you in anything if you're not being honest? So when we walk around saying these cliches, I like to call it Christianese, churchism, whatever, saying all these fancy words and all this stuff that's not how you truly are feeling or going through, you're doing a disservice. And it makes it look like everyone in the faith community got it all together, and we really don't. So I just want to put that out there. People need to just be honest with themselves, be transparent, find a safe community to be transparent with. I know you can't share everything with everybody because not everybody that smiles in your face is your friend. There's some people who got their popcorn and their Pepsi and just waiting for your downfall. So you have to be discerning in who you speak your problems to, and make sure this person is really going to be there to listen to you and even help you resolve whatever you have going on. But don't keep that stuff to yourself. The enemy wants you to be isolated. He wants you to be withdrawn. He wants you to make you feel like you're in this by yourself, and you're not. That you do have a tribe. There is a community for you, okay? So those who may be feeling alone right now or withdrawn or feel like no one understands, trust me, someone understands, but you just have to, the right people will come to you, but when you're honest with yourself and start speaking your truth, then the right people will migrate to you because they see your authentic self, and people don't migrate to fake people. Only fake people migrate to fake people, but real people migrate to real people. Let me just put that out there. So you're being yourself, you will get the right people in your circle. So when someone is asking you how you're doing, tell them the truth. Tell them the truth.
Unless it's me and I'm in line someplace, I will give you Grace's number.
Don't give my number. I ain't gonna see how you tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Because some people want people to lie to them. They like that. There's some people like that.
Absolutely.
Not really reality.
Question, especially with people who I don't really know.
Right. I tell people, if you don't want the truth and love, don't come to me.
Well, and I'm telling me to listen to what you're saying. No, because I need to know how to come at them because I'm a pretty person, and I'll be up here trying to help, and then you just be talking, and you're gonna keep doing that circle, and then at some point I'm gonna be like, oh, see, you like this. You this is what you're doing, and you still in the mode of what you're talking about. And you say, I hate this, but no, be honest, you love this, and then start to go ahead and move from there. So
yeah, that's a good start. I was asking you, am I here to be a ear? What do you need from me? Am I here to be a ear or your advice or counseling? I need to know where I fit in so I can know what I'm supposed to be doing. But if you're going to be an asshole, I call it time. Some people, they're assholes. They like to just ask questions. But they're not going to do anything you tell me.
And that's fine, because the other thing I'll tell them, they say, oh, I want your advice. And so I'll give it. And then afterwards I say, now you grown. So you do what you want. You don't have to take, my feelings are not going to take it. I don't get no referral fee. I don't get none of that. So do what you want. So you don't have to come back and say, girl, I ain't listen to a damn thing you said.
populations, I see adolescents and adults, but both populations, I'm very, even with my adolescents, I want them to be part of the treatment plan. I talk to them as people, you gonna do this or not? I have these conversations, those conversations, you gonna do this or not? Like you are responsible for your treatment. So even my adolescent, this is not about what mom and daddy wants you to do. This is not even about what girls want you to do. At the end of the day, you're the one that has to take responsibility and accountability. So let's be on the same page and figure out what we're gonna do. So I'm the same way. You don't have to take recommendations. You don't have to take counsel or advice from me. I'm not someone that's gonna rub in your face, oh, this is what happened because you didn't do X, Y, and Z. I'm not gonna do that. That's not, that's to me, it's futile. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, adults are going to be adults and do what they want to do. All I can do is plant the seed. All I can do is give you what God's given me to give you. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to apply it. So information without application leads to no transformation. So if you don't want to be in the same place you don't want to be in the same place next year, then you need to do something different. It's called insanity if you're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's called insanity. Okay, so you're going to keep going a circle around and around and around a circle, and then eventually you'll get tired and decide to have a change behavior and actions. So that's just what it is. So as adults, we have to take ownership of our actions. We need to take responsibility of our actions and understand the decisions that we make today can affect our present and affect our future. So why don't we just make wiser decisions? Okay, so that's all I have to say on that topic. I don't chase people down and give them any counsel or advice. Listen, you come to me, I'm an open book. I help you as best as I can. But then it's up to you. It's your life. You're going to have to want the change, and you have to say yes to yourself to make that change before listening to anyone. It has to start with you saying yes and then going from there.
So true. So true. So now, and who knew that we'd be on here this long and just going and go?
Ma'am, right. I was like, okay, wait a second here.
I'm saying you feel empowered. What is she?
I was like, wait a minute here. That's how I was looking at time, like, wait a second. Are we supposed to? Well, the people needed it. Someone probably listening right now who needs to be encouraged, need to be empowered. And so I'm all for it. I'm here for it.
And I'm always here for it. And I let it flow like it flow. I ain't gonna cut it off like that. Now, what I would like for you to do is your website the best way for people to get in touch with you? Because you are you do speaking engagements. You're an author.
Yeah.
And what else is it? Is it a strategist?
I'm a life strategist. We haven't launched our academy again. I do right now. My focus is really on the speaking, and just doing more speaking engagements, and of course my book. But yeah, people can connect with me through the website as well. So they can also email me as well if they can't get through the website, because like I said, we're going to be revamping some stuff. But if they can't get through the website, they can always email. And if they want to book me for a speaking engagement or whatever, they can always email, and I'll send them a pre-event questionnaire. We will send them a pre-event questionnaire where they'll fill out, and then I can see if it's something I'm aligned to do. If we can work together. So that's one way. And of course, I'm on the social media streets. So they can always connect with me on my business page on Facebook.
Is it the Smilebiz LLC Gmail? Is that the one they can?
Yeah, Smilebiz LLC at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to type that in here right quick. Whoops. There we go. And let that roll across so people can see it also. That's email, and then I will copy it right quick and put it in the comments so it'll go out on all of the platforms in the comment section. Look at us in technology. Looky here.
Yeah, I know. This is gonna be I really appreciate you.
No, look, I appreciate you. Timing is everything, and how it links up and whatnot. Do you feel empowered?
Yes, I do.
I think, what if somebody said, no, not at all? I'd be like, oh, girl, that's okay. Come on now. We're going to try again. Let's get you there. But do you feel like you've empowered other people today?
Yes, I do.
Excellent, excellent. WUBI Ubiquity Radio listeners, iHeartRadio, everyone from all of the platforms, make sure that you share this. Click that share button right now because even if this wasn't your cup of tea for tonight, trust and believe there's somebody that's connected to you somewhere that this is exactly put into the computer, spit it out exactly what they need. And you may not know because they may not be saying it. Okay. So go ahead and share this and give somebody else this resource. Even if be like, yeah, this right here, this is some BS and this ain't for me. Cool. Because everybody, Grace ain't for she the therapy streets and the lower streets, but she ain't for everybody. She ain't of them streets. So it's cool. She's for a certain element right there. And go ahead and share it on your network. Share this so that somebody else can get these resources and catch some tidbits. And the next time you see them, you'll be like, something different about you. Because you done share some resources. They done went into action and put it into play, got practical with it. It wasn't just theory any longer. It's practical. And now they're making some changes. And look at you, just because you did hit a little share button. That's how it works. You guys make sure you go to all of her social media pages and like, click, follow, subscribe, whatever it requires. And you can always contact her through there also, through any of those. I believe they have those buttons. If you have questions for me, if you're looking to be a guest on the show, make sure you hit us up, and we'd love to have you on here. So now, before all of my guests leave, let me go over here and bring this up. I always try and make sure to play this. This is one. Can't really type and talk at the same time. Not correct. I start typing what I'm saying. This is one of our platinum sponsors, and I love playing her inspirational thing every time on here because it's so true, and especially with all of the empowered honorees that we have on here and entrepreneurs who are right in their passion with all the things that they're doing. Let me bring this on up to share. Click play.
You do what you love, it's not work. You have to love what you do and do it for the right reasons versus doing it for the money. When you do it for the money, then the business doesn't last. But when you do it because you love it, you pour your all into it, by default you win, and then you'll never have to worry about it.
You all know who that is. That's Miss Stephanie Hollis. Get bodied by Stephanie. Come on now. You don't have to go have surgery, get that body tight and right and get it sculpted and everything. No, you do need to still work out and eat right. I'm going to tell you that. You might want to do that to maintain it. But yes, go ahead and hit Sister up. Now, she is located in Phoenix, in Arizona. However, she travels all over this world because she does this for the stars. She is the GOAT, baby. Y'all don't see no work when I pull a page up here. You can see me on her table, the whole nine. Let me go and find something else for you right quick to show you. Let me see, Moni. I know I said I was going to let you go, but nope, I didn't. I didn't. Let me see, can I find the pictures right quick on here that I just sent myself? I want to share some of the ones I just had done. Let's see, here's one. Yeah. And you can see some of how her work. Were you at the summit last year? In 2023? Are you coming?
I have one next year. I'm still considering because I'm supposed to be having a speaking engagement that weekend as well. So
sis, look, I don't make a dime off of you coming. Let me be clear on that. So
Monet, I'm not doing this with you tonight.
We're gonna go together. We're gonna do this.
Monet said we family now.
First cousin. Look, I'm telling you. So last year was the first big one like that. I've been in the sisterhood for many years, and I'm one of the core sisters. So, and what that means is I didn't get to attend none of the stuff. I was there. No, there's no awe. There is no awe because that's how powerful it really, really was. That I didn't attend one doggone talk, workshop, anything, and got the benefit of all of it. Do you hear me? Because the synergy was on fire. That these sisters, like, we had an environment where there was no down talking. Look, no, let me say, Pat made sure that she had we're going to run this different. We're going to make sure people feel a certain way. There was even one sister who came, I don't know how to state wrong. It was like Arkansas something. And she knew none of us. She knew nothing except she saw something on Facebook about it, bought her full weekend ticket, booked at the hotel, everything, and said, I'm going, and had a fabulous time. She was one of our sisters by the end, and I just encourage anybody that they wants to go, to find a way to try and make it happen. And I know it's somewhat right around the corner now. However, all things are possible. If it was Chris Brown and you love you some Chris Brown, I bet you'd be doing whatever. And they
no, not Chris Brown. No offense.
But some other people. If it was Chris Brown, if it was if it was Kimmy,
boy, I cannot tonight.
You'd be like, oh girl, look, I'm gonna go out here and bake some cakes and
bake some cakes. Oh Lord. Oh, pull up some talent, right?
I'm gonna go out here and do some box braids. You know how to braid? Nope, but I'm gonna watch it on YouTube.
You're gonna learn today. That's funny.
But I'm telling you, look, and Moni don't tell no lies and she don't exaggerate. She's funny as hell, but she don't do none of that other stuff. Yeah. And the synergy is just, taken away from there. Just, and no, I was working on my hands, knees, but making sure everything. And still the DJ, she even told about the fact of from the last summit, how from going there and attending just as the DJ. Okay, she didn't do anything. She just DJ and the stuff, but she's hearing when people come up to speak in the main rooms. She's like, I went back and finished my degree.
Wow, that is amazing.
Nobody knew, any of that until that time.
That's so empowering, right? To have that much impact on someone for them to want to complete their goal.
And so that's what I did. Attend one workshop, not one, but still got the full benefit and felt like I still connected with the sisters and all that stuff because the environment is just on point. And honey, we can't wait for LA. I am so geeked. So I do hope to see you there. If not, we'll see you here. We'll be doing something else together for sure.
Absolutely.
So look at your girl. That dress, right? Yeah.
That's what you're doing? Is this what we're doing?
That's what we did right there.
Beautiful. Wow.
I have to really, thank that sister, thank Stephanie, because she not only does what she does to the body, she's also a life coach and she's also a fitness coach. And she's also someone, she is so in tune. Because I have MS and I have lupus, I bruise very easily from the lupus. And so every time she says, are you safe at home? Are you safe? Do you feel safe? And I'm like, Stephanie, get the hell away from me. I'm fine. However, that's just who she is, that she takes it beyond just your physical body coming in there. She wants, like we said, the healing, the inside also. She doesn't want you just to get this procedure and just whatever. She's concerned about the individual, the inside, the out, the body, the mind, the soul, the spirit, all of it. So that's what that's shining through, honey, because that's my girl right there.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So you guys make sure you check her out, Get Bodied by Stephanie Hollis. And then again, don't forget our guest that was here tonight. Do not forget our guest, because I know y'all saw some religious stuff and thinking, I ain't for all that. No, baby, we do things a little differently here. Okay, a little differently. We wanted to relate to you so that you can understand and really get the feeling and really come on and get it cracking with us, okay? And I feel like that was accomplished tonight. Now, I'm just speaking over here from my perspective of my green back screen. That's my perspective. I don't know. How do you feel, Grace? Do you think that we accomplished that?
I think so. I think we touched on all facets of just the human person. It wasn't just, we start with a spiritual foundation because that's part of who I am, and I'm always going to be Grace. I don't care what anyone thinks. I just be keeping it 100. But I see people through a holistic view, so I know it's not just a spiritual. There's a mental, there's emotional, there's a physical. Just relate with your experiences. So I feel like we've even if it's one person that's been impacted and empowered, that's good enough for me, because then it's a multiplication. They'll go and empower, impact someone else, and then it just multiplies.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you. I'm honored to come on your platform, and I thank you. So
So
thank you
much.
for having me and your audience.
They thank you too. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. And I hope that you accomplish everything that you wanted to hear. Is there anything else you feel like you need to share before I let you go this evening?
I think I've been loaded enough on y'all. I done snatched enough eyebrows and edges tonight, so I'm gonna spare y'all. I think I've done enough. But no, thank you for having me. Thank you for your audience. I appreciate you guys even being open-minded to hear what I had to say. It may not be, like she said, your cup of tea, but just your willingness to even learn from someone that you may not see every day in your walk of life. So I just appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you again. And I'll be talking to you later. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guys, look, was that not another banger? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So, look, I know it's late, okay, and I'm not going to keep you much longer. However, I do want to let you know about someplace else where you can catch Going Down on the Mic, where we will be live this Friday. Man, is this this is a banger as far as where we're going to be. Hold on, let me bring it up here. Let me bring it up. Give me 2 seconds to work the screen here in the background. Y'all have no clue all of the buttons and stuff I have to push and still keep engaged, and not with my ADHD being like squirrel over there and forget all of it. So thank you for hanging in there with me. Where we're going to be is the Med Legal Prom Night in Scottsdale, Arizona on Friday, November 17th. Going Down the Mic, NWUB, I will be in the house doing some random on the spot with interviews, showing you what's happening there. This is one of the largest networking events of the year. Okay. Med and Legal. These are the big boys and girls that came out to play. Okay. They came out to play and network, sit down and have a great dinner. I don't know if tickets are still available. It sells out every year. And as it says right there, limited tickets. Okay. Limited tickets, but you guys can go ahead and try it. I'd never say don't, never say never. I believe it's $150 a plate to get in, which means we're going to be eating quite well. I'm just going to leave that there. I'm going to show you my food. And after I tell you about these events, and to go ahead and get in there and get in where you fit in, and then you see me, somebody like, Moni, why did you? I'm always going to show my good time, honey. I'm going to show everybody's good time, because I said, come on and come have that good time with me. I left it open to you. You chose not to, and that's cool. But I'm going to show you the good time. I'm going to show you the good food too. And I'm going to show you my empty plate afterwards. And don't be upset with me, because I'm going to tell you how good it is. So come on out and network. And even if you're not into that arena as far as medical or legal, you need some medicine of some type at some point. You're going to need a lawyer. Okay. Let me just unfortunately let you know that in whatever you're doing. And it's good to get out and network and talk to people, because there are going to be people of all sorts there. And you just never know. You never know. I met the woman that's over this at AZ Fashion Week last year. She had a podcast. I had a podcast, and she fell in love with me. She said, oh, we're going to do some stuff together. And it's a year later, and just clicking in. So there it is. You never know who you're going to meet. So again, when you represent your brand, represent it to the best at all times, because you don't ever know how you're going to be able to be in a room and bless other people, because it's going to be some blessings coming from this. I guarantee you. I'm all about those blessings and resources for my people out here for you. I represent for you. For those of you, don't forget that information is scrolling down at the bottom, that 988lifeline.org, through your browser, whether you're on your phone, your laptop, or wherever it may be, or you can dial 988 if you are looking for some type of support through emotional, mental, or if you're in an abusive relationship or have been in the past and need to find some type of resource or resource for somebody else. That's a good number to have, and a good website and everything to just keep on hand. So, guys, look, it has been good to be here with you. I will see you again next week, live from the show Going Down on the Mic. We'll have another guest for you, another empowered honoree, and then make sure and watch for my lives for Friday. Okay. It's going to be off the chain. I'm telling you, it's off the chain. And you know how I get it, a good party. Okay. I will be dancing and getting it all in. So don't be upset. Okay. Because I'm going to be more than bankhead bouncing. All right. I won't be doing too much more than that, but I will be doing it, but not much more. I will not be breaking it down to the ground. No, I'll be doing it real good from my chair. In my mind, I'm doing it. But come on out and check us out. And like I said, if not, be on there live. And then the week after that, I'm at the Misfit Film Festival. Again, this year they invited us back. Hey. They have the best snacks in the world of any film festival I've ever been to. Okay. And the best awards. She searches the entire world over for her award that she gives out for that film festival, Ms. Danita. Okay, so I'll give you more information on that later, but I'm going to let you guys go. It has been such a treat. Thank you to my guests. Thank you to you guys. And I'll see you later. If you need me, go ahead and hit the inbox, DM me. My phone number's everywhere. Put it on the bathroom wall. I don't care. It's a Google number. It's cool. But if you need me, go ahead and contact me there. Otherwise, I will see you next week. And you take care. Go ahead and I'm going to let you vibe out with Anthony again. Go ahead and I'll be bopping my head in the back with you. I'll see you later. Peace. Mwah.
Can we stop the arguing? Can we take a moment where we can calm down? It's just so exhausting. Swinging in the wind, going round and round. I know that we won't say sorry. You beg and I plead, but my heart can't beat until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. I know that we won't say sorry until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations, baby. I see me addressing you. Let me put the smile right onto your face, tracing every inch of you. Using my tongue to find your happy place. I know that we can't play naughty. You beg and I plead, and you pull my heartstrings until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. Until I feel the vibration.